bringing you the latest updates from the Pna Newsroom. The Department of Foreign Affairs and the Department of National Defense are set to host the 10th Philippines-United States Bilateral Strategic Dialogue this coming January 19 to 20. The DFA said both sides view the forthcoming meeting as an important opportunity to progress discussions on the joint vision of the U.S. and the Philippines. The dialogue will also serve as a main platform for the two countries to affirm the long-standing alliance and friendship. The 9th Bilateral Strategic Dialogue was held in Washington, D.C. in November 2021. This year, the Philippines will be hosting the 10th BSD covering bilateral relations in terms of defense, economy, people-to-people, and other related cross-cutting issues. The Department of Foreign Affairs said the Philippines and Ukraine had a high-level interactions in November last year as the government expressed support for Ukraine for its accession to the Treaty of Amity and Cooperation of Southeast Asia. The DFA made the remark following Ukraine's claim that it has been requesting for a phone conversation schedule between President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. Ukraine Embassy in Malaysia charged the affairs Denis Mikhailyuk earlier said they have been contacting Marcos since June last year, as Zelensky wants to seek Marcos' help by participating or co-sponsoring his peace plan, which will be presented at the United Nations on February 24. The peace formula aims to punish Russia for crimes of aggression, including implementing sanctions such as trade and travel bans. DFA Undersecretary Carlos Sureta said the Philippines continues to have a good relationship with Ukraine. However, the envoy's decision to air his grievances publicly does not sit well with him.
First of all, we don't really appreciate when these things are done. Ukraine is a country we have a good relationship with, but when matters like these are vented by representatives of another government through the press, it's not something that we appreciate. And I think I'll limit my comment. If he wants this to happen, he has to. We have to discuss it. These things are arranged. The talking points are discussed. There's pre-discussion. It's not good diplomatic practice.
The Department of Migrant Workers is planning to hold an exploratory talk on the possible deployment of caregivers and assisted care workers to Hong Kong. DMW Secretary Susan Oplis said this would provide additional job opportunities for Filipino caregivers under conditions that value their skills and are cognizant of their rights and welfare. Oplis said a bilateral meeting was held between the DMW and Hong Kong Secretary for Labor and Welfare Chris Sod, highlighting Hong Kong's need to tap more foreign workers due to its aging population. Sun noted there is a growing need for workers in both private and government-subsidized care homes and assisted care facilities. He also committed to fast-track the hiring of as many as 7,000 foreign workers. Hong Kong is home to over 211,000 overseas Filipino workers, mostly employed as domestic helpers. A total of 158 agrarian reform beneficiaries are set to receive their land titles under the support of parcelization of lands for individual titling or split project. The Department of Agrarian Reform said a total of 320 hectares of validated agricultural lands in Murcia, Negros Occidental will be subdivided to benefit the former beneficiaries. The DAR said it would expedite the issuance of titles to the farmers to improve land tenure security and stabilize their rights as owners. It said individual titling would encourage the ARBs to improve their land holdings toward increased farm productivity and household incomes. During the last cabinet meeting, President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. directed the DAR to step up its distribution of COLA to qualified beneficiaries. In news overseas, thousands of flights in the U.S. were delayed due to a system outage affecting airport operations. The U.S. Federal Aviation Administration, or FAA, issued a ground stop yesterday following a notice to the air mission system experienced an outage, causing operations to slow down. The NOTAM system alerts pilots to hazards and changes to airport facilities and procedures. Airlines were forced to delay or cancel flights due to congestion. Over 10,000 flight delays and more than 1,300 cancellations were reported, according to the flight tracking website FlightAware. The FAA is still determining the cause of the outage, which was initially traced to a damaged database file. Meanwhile, U.S. President Joe Biden ordered an investigation into the outage. Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre also said there was no evidence of a cyber attack found so far. That's the latest on the biggest stories from the Pna Newsroom. For more news content, visit our webpage or head on to the Philippine News Agency's Facebook and Twitter accounts. We're also shown on the social media pages of the Presidential Communications Office and Radyo Pilipinas RP1. I'm Stephanie Civiliano. We tell stories that inspire change.